Hello, friends. Welcome to our channel. If you want to improve your English skills and make progress every day, you're in the right place. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss a video. If you find this helpful, give us a like and share your thoughts in the comments. Your support helps us create better content for you. Join our community and let's enjoy learning English together. Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's podcast. I hope you are all doing great and feeling excited to learn English with us. We are so happy to have you here today. Whether you're at home, at work, or on the go, we are thrilled you've decided to spend some time with us today on this amazing learning journey. My name is Agnes, and I will be one of your hosts. I'm passionate about helping people learn English, and I've been teaching for a few years now. I love seeing my students improve and gain confidence in their skills. I believe that learning English can open up many doors for you, and it's a skill that can truly change your life. Now, let me introduce you to my awesome co-host, Jasper. Jasper, why don't you tell everyone a little bit about yourself?
Hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with you today. I'm Jasper, and just like Agnes, I'm also an English teacher. I've been teaching English for several years, and I absolutely love it. Helping students grow and reach their goals is something I am really passionate about. English is such a valuable language, and the more you learn, the more doors it will open for you, whether it's for travel, work, or making new friends around the world. Now, Agnes, I'm really curious. What are we going to talk about today? What's the topic of today's podcast? Yes, thank you so much to all our wonderful listeners. You are amazing for taking the time to improve your English. We really hope today's conversation will be helpful and motivating for you. So, Agnes, how should we start? What's the first tip you'd like to share for learning English effectively?
That's a great question, Jasper. Today, we are going to talk about something very special, and I believe it's something that will be incredibly helpful for all of our listeners, especially if you're just starting to learn English or if you're at the intermediate level. We are going to discuss how to learn English effectively. Yes, that's right. We are diving into the best tips and tricks that will help you learn English in the most effective way possible. Whether you're struggling to remember new vocabulary or you're unsure how to improve your speaking and listening skills, we've got you covered. This episode will give you practical strategies that will make your learning process much smoother and more enjoyable. The reason why this topic is so important is because many learners feel overwhelmed at some point in their English learning journey. They might feel like progress is slow or they don't know how to study in the best way. But let me tell you, with the right approach, learning English can be an exciting adventure. It's not about working harder, but working smarter. Today, we'll show you how to do that. But before we dive into the details, I want to take a moment to thank all of you who are watching or listening to this podcast. Your support means the world to us. We hope this episode will inspire you to keep going with your English learning and help you reach your language goals faster.
I love that analogy, Agnes. Yes, consistency really does make a huge difference. And it doesn't have to be boring. There are so many fun ways to practice English every day. You can listen to English music, watch movies or shows in English, or even follow Instagram accounts or YouTube channels that teach English. The key is to surround yourself with English as much as possible, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. Mistakes are part of the learning process. Another thing I would recommend is to focus on listening and speaking as much as possible. These are two skills that many learners feel nervous about. But the more you listen to English, the easier it becomes to understand the language. And when you practice speaking, you'll gain more confidence in yourself. One great way to practice speaking is to find a language partner or join an English conversation group online. Even if you make mistakes, don't worry. The most important thing is to keep speaking and improving.
Great question, Jasper. Well, one of the first things I always tell my students is this: consistency is key. It doesn't matter if you study for just 10 or 15 minutes a day, the important thing is to do it every single day. The more consistently you practice, the faster your skills will improve. Think about it like this: learning English is like building a house. You wouldn't build a house in one day, right? You need to add one brick at a time, and over time, you will have a beautiful, strong house. It's the same with English. The more often you practice, the more solid your foundation will be, and the more comfortable you will feel when speaking, listening, reading, and writing in English. So, my tip for you is try to make English a part of your daily routine. Even if it's just 10 minutes a day, try to stay consistent.
Absolutely, Agnes. Small goals lead to big achievements, and don't forget to have fun with it. English learning should be something you enjoy, not a chore. So, let's summarize what we've talked about in this first part. Be consistent, listen, and speak as much as possible, and set small, achievable goals. These 3 tips will help you make steady progress in your English learning journey. That's right. Keep up the great work, and remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about making progress. Now, Agnes, let's continue to explore more tips to help our listeners learn English more effectively. What do you think?
Exactly. And speaking of listening, another tip I have is to listen actively. This means really paying attention when you listen to something in English. Don't just hear the words, try to understand the meaning behind them. You can start by listening to podcasts, news, or even YouTube videos. The more you listen actively, the better your listening skills will become. And one more tip for today, which I think is super important, is to set small, achievable goals. Instead of saying, I want to speak English fluently, try setting smaller goals like I want to learn 10 new words this week. Or I want to understand a 5-minute podcast without subtitles. These smaller goals are easier to achieve and will keep you motivated as you see your progress over time. It's all about taking it step by step and celebrating your achievements. Exactly, Jasper. And we're just getting started. There's so much more to discuss in this topic, so make sure you stick with us. We've got some more fantastic tips coming up in the next parts of this podcast. Again, thank you to all our listeners. We are so happy to have you with us today. Remember, learning English is a journey, and every step you take gets you closer to your goal. Keep going.